What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here. This video is brought to you by our partners over at BetUS TV. But in this one, we go over some spring practice rumors for the Wolverines as we go over the good word on the Michigan defense in their high potential this upcoming season. We also give an update on the quarterback play, Bryce Underwood, Jadyn Davis, how they're doing. Also, Bryce Underwood's impressive leadership qualities. We also go over the spring portal window, why Michigan will likely be losing some players, but also looking to add on, and then also we go over a new crystal ball prediction for the Wolverines and the latest on quarterback recruiting in both the 2026 and 27 class. It's all going to be in this video and more, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so to start this video, wanted to go over some spring practice rumors here, and we'll first start with the Michigan defense. As we all know, the potential this defense has this upcoming season, they put it on display towards the end of the season, and now they've filled their needs through the transfer portal, and obviously some coaches have had high praise for the Michigan defense, including offensive line coach Grant Newsome. So he talked about the Michigan defensive line, including the potentially the best edge duo in college football out of Derek Moore and TJ Guy. He said, they don't know if they'll face a better duo than that. Then also, it's obviously been reported that the Michigan defense is or has been ahead of the offense as it should be. But according to Chris Ballas of the Wolverine, Michigan defense has the potential to be nasty, and there are athletes all over the field and a lot of guys with high football IQ, and also the transfers on the defensive line out of Trey Williams, Damon Payne. They have been everything expected and more. There's also a picture of Trey Williams, Rayshawn Benny, Derek Moore, and TJ Guy, as that very well could be your starting four on the defensive line. So there's no doubt this defense under Wink Martindale year 2 gonna be fun to watch, but obviously, the bigger question for the Wolverines is the Michigan offense. That is what stalled this team last season, and now under Chip Lindsey, a new and improved quarterback room, as well as some improvements on the offensive line. This offense has the potential to be very fun to watch. Also, a very stacked running back room, and I did want to talk about the quarterback play so far through spring practice, and obviously right now it's just been with Mikey Keene out with an injury, which he should be good to go by the season, but it's just been Bryce Underwood, Jadyn Davis going at it so far here for the quarterback competition. And obviously Jadyn Davis has improved, but Bryce Underwood has been the guy that's been talked about a ton. He's had several wow moments. He's also, made mistakes though, and obviously he'll have to overcome those mistakes. He's a freshman, they're gonna happen, but according to Chris Ballas of the Wolverine in a recent practice on Saturday, one of their sources said that both quarterbacks had their moments, although Underwood did force a few in trusting his big arm. That did make for some turnovers, but also a couple touchdowns on balls in tight windows. And it appears that his ball gets in there in a hurry. Meanwhile, Jadyn Davis still winds up on his delivery and takes a little bit to get there. But both quarterbacks so far has had their moments. Obviously, Bryce Underwood right now, though, many, including myself, would probably say that right now he, could be the starter going into game 1, but obviously getting Mikey Keene back 100% will definitely help, and definitely help with the competition in the room, and obviously he will have a chance to start as well. But going back to the arm strength of both Jadyn Davis and Bryce Underwood, that's what really made Bryce Underwood the #1 recruit coming out of the 2025 class. His special arm talent and the fact that his arm strength is already there, that it should be at the college level, is what made him just such a special player. But one thing I will say for Michigan fans, having both Jadyn Davis and Bryce Underwood is a very, very good gift. Both of them are talented, and we should be really happy we got both of them. Jadyn Davis, came back, putting his head down and getting to work, and who knows, if somebody goes down, we're going to need that other quarterback to step up. But Michigan wide receivers coach Ron Bellamy recently said that Bryce and Jadyn, they both look good. Both are doing some really good things out there. He said Bryce is just like the freshman receivers in the sense of he's learning, but you see the physical talent, ball placement, arm strength, everything, mobility. And the same thing with Jadyn Davis. You see, like, man, okay, this is why we went to Charlotte and got him out of Charlotte. But speaking on on Bryce Underwood. He spoke on his leadership qualities. He said, for a 17-year-old kid, that's huge. He said, I've been around a long time, played with some great ones here at Michigan as a player and as a coach, and to see those leadership qualities from a 17-year-old kid is quite impressive. So that's the latest there. And then also wanted to give a shout out to today's sponsor over at BetUS TV. You can check them out on YouTube for sports advice. They'll take care of you. You can also go to betustv.com for more odds and markets and more sports content as well. And even though March Madness NCAA tournament is over with, we still got, the NBA playoffs upcoming. MLB is ongoing, the NHL, and obviously football season will be here before we know it. Can't wait for that. So again, go and check them out at betustv.com for all kinds of sports content, odds and markets, and all that good stuff. But let's go ahead and continue here. And I do want to talk about the spring portal window as it opens on April 16th, closes on April 25th, and not only is obviously Michigan going to be looking to add some players more in specific at the wide receiver position, potentially another offensive lineman, although that might be hard to find, and they'll be looking for another punter. That's also going to be hard to find though. But according to Chris Ballas of the Wolverine, there will be defections at the end of spring for Michigan, and others around the country already have their eyes on some of the Michigan players they think might not be major players for Michigan but could be for them. It's also the result of having to get the roster down to 105 players, which is the new rule. But also Michigan has their eyes on a few linemen and wide receivers who could help, and it's not tampering, they're just preparing as you have to. And then also worth mentioning, Michigan obviously has their spring game on Saturday, April 19th. It will not be televised until a week later after the spring portal is closed. However, it is free admission to get in and all that. So that is why they're doing that though, because of the spring portal window, as obviously many teams have canceled their spring game in speculation that could hurt them losing some of their players to the portal as teams, see that footage. So just wanted to mention that. And then also some recruiting news here for the Wolverines. First, a new crystal ball prediction put in for the Wolverines, and that is for the 2026 four-star top 100 interior offensive lineman Leo Delaney from Providence Day School in Charlotte, North Carolina, ranked 63rd nationally on 24/7 Sports rankings. And Bryce Underwood of the Michigan Insider put one in yesterday, and that was even after Steve Lorenz of the Michigan Insider said that Michigan potentially was leading after his recent visit to Michigan as the 6'6", 295 offensive lineman, a top offensive line target for the Wolverines. And right now it seems they got a lot of momentum going in their favor right now. And obviously it also helps to have both quarterback Jadyn Davis and wide receiver Channing Goodwin, who both came from Providence Day. So good news right there. And then I also wanted to talk about quarterback recruiting for the Wolverines. The latest there, we obviously talked about the 3-star recruit in the 2026 class, Nathan Bernhard, as he recently took a visit to Michigan and also recently came away with a scholarship offer. And then the Wolverines got a prediction put in to land him by Steve Wiltfong of On3. He's a 6'6" quarterback from the state of Ohio, and in his junior season, his team went 12-1, passed for 2,895 yards, 24 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, also had 206 carries for 1,221 yards and 22 touchdowns. So there's a reason Michigan likes him, but obviously not the only quarterback they're going after, as they're still going after the 5-star quarterback Ryder Lyons. He is still locked in for a spring visit, as he will be arriving Friday and staying until Sunday. I also have a chance to lock in an official visit this weekend potentially, so a big visit there coming up. And then also the top 100 quarterback Brady Smigiel has an upcoming visit on the horizon, as well as Wolverines still going after him in the 2026 class. And as far as the 2027 class, an update on Trae Taylor, one of the elite 2027 quarterbacks. He has moved his decision date up to May 1st, and Michigan no longer is a finalist. He broke down his top 4 of Illinois, LSU, Nebraska, and Texas A&M. Obviously, Michigan was one of the top schools in this recruitment. They kind of have just been trending away, though, as the timelines as far as when he wanted to commit, and Michigan also still taking a very very broad approach to 2027 quarterback recruiting just didn't really line up. The Wolverines are going after a ton of top quarterbacks in the 2027 class, and I think that definitely factored in here. And then also, obviously, Ryder Lyons, the 5-star quarterback in the 2026 class, technically is basically a 2027 prospect since he's going to be going on a 1-year mission. So did just want to give an update there on quarterback recruiting for the Wolverines. Michigan no longer a contender for Trae Taylor, but still the Wolverines quarterback recruiting is in a much better place currently. But with that, that's going to wrap up this video. Again, shout out to our partners over at BetUS TV. Go ahead, check them out. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more if you are new around here. I greatly appreciate it. And we will see you guys in the next video. Go Blue.